official orchestra of the symphony in San Francisco is now gay. It calls itself that. And they say, we're coming for your children. We're recruiting them. We're going to take them over. They will work for us. They will be our slaves. They actually say this. Total declaration of war. And all it is a cult that controls the media, that the corporation uses the rainbow flag as their power, knowing that people are open and free and are like, sure, I'm not against you, but it's not about that. It's about a globalist corporate agenda that's wrapped itself in it. And in this video, they are declaring, we're coming, the future's ours, your children belong to us. This is a group of men saying, we are going to form sexual relationships with your children. This is pedophilic.
We are grooming the new generation of Americans to be fully embracing of diversity and inclusivity.
And for the children and the people that support it are going to realize that this is going to be the grooming of the next generation.
That's the whole goal, is to make kids that aren't used to seeing something like me more comfortable to seeing it.
No one's there to push an agenda on anyone. No one's there to persuade people or to recruit people.
Who wants to be a drag queen when they grow up? You could be a drag queen superhero.
Learn to love, learn to vogue, face your fate. We'll convert your children. Someone's gotta teach them not to hate. We're coming for them. We're coming for your children. Then we'll turn to you, giving all the fear side is free like you never knew. Going to San Francisco, go and turn up that disco. You'll forget you were ever upset. We'll convert your children and make an ally of you yet. We'll make an ally of you yet.
To warn you, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got young or impressionable children in your household, bring them to the screen right now.
And we witnessed parents taking their children as young as 2 inside to take part.
Talking, singing, and reading.
We can both be grooms.
To an audience of preschoolers, toddlers, and their caregivers.
Family programming. Love it. Yes. We have just confirmed that a registered child sex offender has been reading to children at a Houston Public Library as part of its Drag Queen Story Hour.
A media spokesperson for the library confirms one of those drag queens, Tatiana Malanina, is really Alberto Garza, a child sex offender. In 2008, he was convicted of assaulting an 8-year-old boy.
This is Tatiana Malanina, my sister from Queens of the Week.
People seem to walk away having a good time.
Start them young, right?
Start them young, right?
Now, does anybody in this room know how to twerk?
And that really is the driving engine of the system. I knew Ted Gunderson, former top FBI agent. They wanted him to be the FBI director. He was the head of the whole Southern California sector. I knew General Benton K. Parton, head of Air Force Weapons Development. I had family that was in the Iran-Contra and stuff in Central and South America. And they all told me when I was, my uncle and people when I was a kid, but then these other guys, I was on air when I was 22, like this guy, and they would come through and speak, and I'd have dinner with them, and they'd say, listen, it's devil worshippers. They use it as a mind control system to get people recruited And then once they've had sex with somebody's wife, then they have it with an underage girl, then it's a little kid, then they got to kill a kid because, this kid's a troublemaker. So, you're compromised. Well, all that's come out now. And so they're really externalizing this whole method, and it really is a horrible, sick operating system that took over the Vatican, that took over Penn State, that took over basically everything, the FBI, you name it. And so that's why they're doing this, is because this is a cult of sickos that are literally high on sucking the energy off children. This is vampirism, folks. This is psychic vampire stuff. And so physical vampires aren't real. They're archetypes, Bram Stoker said that, of real people that were doing bad things. So there's always been these type of folks. And that's why in the old Transylvanian legends, they said, don't get near the castle, they'll grab you and eat you. Well, because the elites turned out were grabbing kids and eating them. That's in the history books now. And so you've got these domesticated people that don't realize how much danger they're in. And that there's these super predators that are organizing these hierarchies of super predator control. And everybody else is just scared, wanting to conform. Anything outside their Netflix scares them. They want to run away from it. So just in closing, speak to that and why these criminals love to brag. And they first put out that video, and after it got about 1 million views and 99% downvotes, they removed it off YouTube. We saved it as a banned video. But again, that shows they're miscalculating. They can't help it. They're still pushing it.
That's right. Well, and across the country, you've seen this gay agenda being pushed, and specifically over the past 5 years, it's ratcheted up way beyond, I think, what anybody even thought possible. Years ago, it started with this push for gay marriage or tolerance or something like this, and quite literally now you've got them saying, we're going to convert your kids. We're going to come for your kids. And these people are, like you said, predator, pedophile, vampire types. It's not about tolerance. It's not about love. It's not about anything like that.
It's about destroying innocence.
That's right. It's about psychic vampirism. It's about literal Satanism, which is what these elites are. They're evil people, and they're using the energy of the young and maybe the most evil thing that's happening in the world to power this empire that they're trying to create. And it's all out there. I mean, just take a look at like Jeffrey Epstein. This is something that's mainstream. What was incredible about Jeffrey Epstein is here's a case where it could have been more obvious. This is something that everybody knew. It was basically like an open secret for 20 or 30 years. Finally, they caught him. They threw him in jail. The government kills him because maybe he knows too much or something, and they turn it into a big punchline. They turn it into a joke, and they say, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, and they say that on the network talk shows, and they say that on Reddit and everywhere else, and it turns into a big punchline for a joke. It's not a punchline. It's not a joke. It's real. Take a look at who was on the flight logs. Take a look at Kevin Spacey. Take a look at his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, and who she was connected to, all the different global governments and Hollywood and things like that. It's not a joke. It's not a punchline. It's not a meme. These are the people that are running the world right now. That's the evil. That's the level that they're on.
And folks that sign on to defending this or sign on to censoring us, you've now signed on to all this evil. The human animal cloning out in the open, all of it. You can find us at banned.video, but that URL is banned on Twitter and Facebook. Banned.video. You can't share that URL. But we have a URL that is freeworldnews.tv. It's on screen, freeworldnews.tv.